I don't want to see a single comment about the state of my hair. I'll just do the whole video like this. Gap just dropped a summer capsule collection inspired by a classic knit design, and everyone hates it, especially knitters. Gap is a clothing retailer. They're known for their kind of classic, timeless, nostalgic vibe. Lots of denim, lots of basics. They are fast fashion, but they're more on the higher end. Like, they have more well thought out pieces. It's a bit more designer, a bit more luxurious. The way I've always perceived them, this is Shein, this is H&M, this is like Ralph Lauren. They're somewhere in between. Something really iconic of theirs is their happy stripe. Often seen on Gap sweaters from the late 90s, it's these bold horizontal knitwear colorwork stripes. Gap's current chief creative officer is Zach Posen. And can I just show you some of Zach Posen's designs and some of the people he's worked with? Literally so stunning. Like, my jaw is on the floor. I am on the floor. So beautiful. I'm amazing designer, super successful. I like, sorry for breathing your air, like, you know, huge props to this man. Now, before Posen was the CCO at Gap, he was actually the founder of his own namesake label House of Z, which he founded back in 2001. Unfortunately, he had to close it down abruptly in 2019 after a struggle to find investors amidst a challenging retail landscape. For Gap's 2026 summer collection, Posen announces that they are bringing back a Happy Stripe inspired capsule, which revives the iconic Gap sweater from the late 90s. But it was just done in the worst way possible.
In the late 90s, we introduced an iconic stripe, and it really took off. It became part of our DNA. So we took this archive piece that was in these stripes and then said, what could make it summertime? So we worked on taking this original sweater with the dimension of the knit and the colorations and developed it into a photorealistic print that would be on this very stretchy, very thin, very summertime mesh, which is how we got to this.
I've seen this video a few times now, and the way he reveals it from like underneath the beautiful knit sweater and it's a piece of plastic is so funny.
This is stretchy, it's thin, it's soft, it's colorful, it's fun, it's summertime.
That's right, we are bringing back an iconic piece of knit by slapping a photo of it onto plastic. Originally introduced as part of Gap's Holiday 2000 campaign, Happy Stripe returns for summer 2026 through the lens of #GapStudio. We transformed the original knit into a photorealistic print on ultralight stretch mesh, creating a collection that feels nostalgic, graphic, and entirely modern. The #GapStudio Happy Stripe sheer maxi dress, t-shirt, tank top, and maxi skirt. Soft, weightless summer. There are multiple issues here, and unfortunately the sheer disrespect towards knitters is only a small one. So let's talk about that first. If I had €1 every time somebody fundamentally misunderstands what knitwear means to fiber artists and just how excited we are to see our craft being represented in mainstream media, such as for a pretty, like, fairly bougie fashion brand, I could buy enough yarn to make an actual knitted version of this summer collection myself. It feels so rage bait because, like, when everybody saw the Happy Stripe being posted on Gap's page, they were so excited, and then we see Posen, such an amazing designer, talking about the Happy Stripe and how they wanted to revive it, and it's just like, oh, whoa, what's it gonna be? Psych! It's plastic. Yet another instance, amongst many, of the craft being pushed aside in favor of something that nobody really asked for. The last few dozen times it was AI, and this time it's fast fashion BS. If you take anything that requires a lot of love, a lot of labor, and then you slap it on a piece of plastic where it could have been the real thing, it's gonna be hurtful. And in all honesty, I see the vision, I see the thought process. I think every knitter goes through this gripe of like, well, I like knitting, I want to knit, but it's summer and it's hot out and I want to be able to make pieces that I can wear as soon as I finish them. The usual solution is to use thinner yarn made of plant-based fiber because it is breathable and lightweight. Plant-based fibers are also quite affordable, and currently my favorite material is cotton, partly for that reason. It does everything that acrylic does at only incrementally higher of a cost. So many people were saying, please just do an actual knitwear collection, but using cotton. It's interesting they chose not only to use polyester and elastane, which they don't say in their promotional video. I feel like they purposely leave that out. But they're also bypassing the entire act of knitting for a collection that supposedly pays homage to knitting. I love the original Happy Stripe because it's knitted. One of my rescues is getting kind of fussy, so I'm sorry if you hear him like doing ASMR in the background. My favorite sweater of theirs from their Happy Stripe era is the chunky turtleneck sweater. I think this is easily a statement piece that can last a lifetime for the right person. I love chunky knit because you can really see the texture of the knit stitches. I think there's something so endearing about that. I think this is a sweater that loves you and loves itself. It's colorful, it's optimistic, but it also marks the end of an era, as shortly after it was followed by the very antithesis of knitting, which is the boom of the fast fashion industry. It's a picture of beautiful craftsmanship printed onto stretchy mesh. This feels dystopian. So yeah, this is borderline sacrilegious to knitters. It reminds me of those chum bucket Krabby Patty burgers that was just like spray painted on and then it's cement in the middle. People are saying it's like those videos, what I ordered from Temu versus what I actually got, and then what they actually got is like a printed photo of the original Temu listing or something like that, or it'll just look nothing like the photo listing. How you manage to dupify yourself as a fairly high-end brand is really beyond me. You know what I think they were going for? The Trompe-l'œil jeans by Acne Studios are these jeans printed with like all of these kind of grungy motifs. You got the chain links, key rings, paint splatters. I'm not particularly fond of these either, to be honest. I generally find it tacky when these more bougier brands try to evoke alternativeness. I feel like it never lands well. But the difference is these are actual jeans. It's cotton. Like you can wear these as jeans. Whereas these are just so unfunctional. You're just wearing plastic. It's not like wearing a knit dress. But all of this is fairly vapid in comparison to my main concern right here, which is that we are churning out more virgin plastic. The EU just had like the most miserable, traumatizing, fatal heat wave. Hospitals, animal shelters absolutely overwhelmed with heat stroke. We don't have the right infrastructure to deal with this heat in the EU, which by the way, so many Americans are saying just buy AC, just buy AC. It's not that simple. It really isn't. We don't have the infrastructure. AC worsens the climate crisis. My fucking apartment was built in the 80s. I can't just be installing shit. Like, it's not that simple. But anyway, climate change affects us all. I'm not nearly as affected as lower class people in the global south where there are even more extreme temperatures. Like, the huge issue. Like, I'm fucking scared. I fear for my family. I fear for all the animals. Climate change should be at the forefront of everybody's minds, and we're just turning out more plastic. That worsens the crisis. Like, are we serious? The fashion industry is a huge global polluter, partly due to the mass production of synthetic materials. We need clothing options that are gonna keep us cool without clogging our oceans. We need more sustainability initiatives in general. There's so much potential for sustainability in fashion, but no, we're just here worsening the crisis to make garments that are neither suitable for summer even, or eco-friendly. And I know they said that, like, oh, this is summer, it's mesh, it's lightweight. It's synthetic. It's gonna make you sweat, it's gonna cling to your skin, it's gonna smell. Environmental collapse would make it stripe. It's just such a wasted opportunity. We need to promote sustainability by any means necessary. Posen is a huge designer with so much influence. People like him set the industry standard. If that's what it takes, like if it takes trends and celebrity influence to make us choose the more sustainable option, then do that. Why aren't we doing that? Posen could have brought slow fashion and eco-friendly fibers back onto the roster with this collection. He could have made a real knitwear collection. Again, plant-based fiber is so cheap and it's also so summer friendly. Like, it was right there. He could have even used like 90s dead stock Happy Stripe. He could have upcycled a vintage Gap collection to promote circular fashion. This is what irks me so bad because fashion is already circular. Trends come and go. So like, why are we producing new shit? I think it would have been so cool if Posen enlisted like a small team of knitters that actually hand knit these garments, given it a limited stock so that it still has that rarity, made it a collector's item, like, and to each their own in terms of taste. I'm sure there's people who think the idea is cute. Like, that's not really not the issue here, in case I haven't made it clear. It doesn't matter what you and I think is cute. Like, it doesn't matter what we wear if the temperature outside is in the 40s. Like, I might as well just leave the house already in a hospital gown. I don't know, I'm just out here like spending hours repairing my old stuff so I don't have to buy new, sifting through thrift stores, reading ingredient labels and looking like a fool in the supermarket checking for animal products, breaking apart my Tetra Pak packaging so that I can recycle it, and companies are just out here manufacturing landfills. I'm so tired. I wish we could start thinking about how we can use our influence to conserve the planet rather than how we can make more money. This is a modern collection for sure, but it is a representation of the worst of modernity. The hyper-consumerism, the enshittification, the simultaneous trivialization and capitalization on slow hobbies such as knitting, the climate crisis, even the inability to evoke what we miss about our past and our childhood. I do think it is that deep. I could write a whole essay about this. I fear it is also just unflattering. Like, the way it's bunching around this model's waist really hurts my soul. The music choice of this ad.
This is stretchy, it's thin.
I'm just being mean now, but let me let it all out. It is also just a choice. Like, it makes it seem like an SNL skit almost. Like, tell me this isn't satire. I do think this collection materializes within a bit of an unfortunate fashion echo chamber. Because again, when you're a luxury designer working with huge public figures, you don't look at fast fashion because fast fashion is looking at you. You set the standard. Screen printed plastic mesh is so typical of fast fashion brands such as Shein, and I actually see it a lot at Urban Outfitters because I think mesh is a really easy way to like get that edgier look because it's like, whoa, is that my nipple? Can you see my nipple or not? It's also a material that's very easy to size grade because it's stretchy, so you can cut costs by not thinking too hard about like anatomy and shaping. If you are only within the circle of like luxury fashion, naturally you may think of screen printing on mesh under this impression that it's like never been done before. Meanwhile, it's so overdone that everybody hates it. I do feel bad for Posen. Like, he seems to be very enthusiastic. It seems like he's put a lot of work into this design. Again, like, just like for every instant where a company upsets the fiber arts community, there's a gap between consumer and producer. And I think a lot of brands just have this sort of arrogance where they don't take the actual wants of their consumers into consideration. They don't really take their products or systems for a test run or even just ask like the Gen Z intern whether this will fly before putting it on store shelves. And again, sustainability really needs to be at the forefront of the mind of every CEO, every chief creative officer, honestly just everybody. Because you can make like the most revolutionary, most beautiful piece of fashion. What are you gonna do with that revenue money if like all of your travel destinations are burning in hell and all the plants and animals that you usually put on your plate to eat are dead? Where are you gonna wear that beautiful dress to? And guys, I feel like this goes without saying, but I know some people are gonna have this mindset of like, well, if high-end brands are doing it and then the cheaper brands like Shein and Temu are doing it, what is stopping me from buying from Shein and Temu? And I saw some concerning comments being like, I could literally get this from Shein, I could literally get this from Temu. Please don't. Please don't. Please keep your integrity. Please keep searching for alternatives. Please keep protesting against bullshit like this. Do what you can. These brands know damn well that we care about sustainability and whatnot. I feel like they're just banking on the fact that we're either not going to be willing or able to make any personal sacrifices, or we're not smart enough to find workarounds. So please keep boycotting, keep mobilizing, keep learning, and normalize shame and being embarrassed. It's not like I was gonna buy from Gap anyway, but now if anything stops me from buying from Gap, it's the sheer embarrassment of supporting this. I feel like a lot of this just kind of goes without saying. Like, there's not much that I can really add to this conversation. I think y'all know where I stand with stuff like this. I've seen a lot of influencers talking about this, and I think honestly they were being way too nice. Because it's one thing to completely like bastardize a craft and a discipline, but I just want drinking water and breathable air in my 30s, and I'm very concerned, and I don't think we're concerned enough. I've seen a lot of like firsthand suffering related to stuff like this when I rescue animals. I've taken in animals with heat stroke. I've taken in so many animals just like covered from head to toe in plastic. I guess now is a good time to show you guys my current rescue animals. Lighten the mood to end off the video. So I currently have two boys. This one is Mac. He is such a good boy, so calm, so chill. Got some pretty bad wounds on his feet because of Stringfoot. My other one is a bit of a troublemaker. He's very fussy. This one is Johnny, and he's also got Stringfoot, and unfortunately his toes did get a little disfigured, so he's getting physiotherapy in addition to bandage changes. These are my boys. Yeah. And friendly reminder that one big culprit of Stringfoot, which is why you see a lot of pigeons with missing toes, one of the leading causes is human hair. Another one is synthetic threads that kind of fall off from cheap garments. Synthetic fiber is just so harmful in so many ways. And thank you guys so much for supporting me again, because when you watch my videos, the revenue goes into helping babies like these. I'm gonna go clean their cages now and change their bandages. I hope that lightens the mood a little bit, showing you guys my rescues. So y'all know what to do. I really hope that Gap and other companies see how visceral of a reaction it causes when they inshitify themselves like this, and hopefully that prevents them from doing more silly things in the future. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I can't wave, my hands are full.